you over, you just can't breathe.
What's up guys, Sarah Benz here for another video, and today I'm here with my wife Bruna, and we're actually going to be doing some no-gi. So I get a lot of requests to do no-gi, and yes, I train no-gi. I actually started with no-gi. I did no-gi for 2 years before I ever even trained in the gi, and I trained no-gi for the vast majority of my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu career in life. Competed in no-gi several times. I have wrestling experience, so I love no-gi, but lately I've been training in the gi more. But today I wanted to show a very, very simple introduction to a passing position that I think is a little underutilized without the gi, and it's a different type of over-under. So it's not like the over-under where you have an underhook and an overhook. It's not the over-under where we see Bernardo very often, but it's very similar to Bernardo's. It's just a more agility-based way to pass. I call it the over-under knee slice. So without further ado, I'll stop talking and I'll show you guys the position. I'll explain why I like it so much, and then we're going to follow up with another video after this, so stay tuned, where I'm going to show a little bit more of a system from here. But today's just the introduction so you guys understand it. So let's get into it. So guys, let's assume that for whatever reason we started the match, right? She chooses to play guard, I choose to pass, we high five, slap bump, and we start to roll. I always like to, in no gi, and in gi, I like to stand and pass. So I always stand and I keep myself low initially so that I have an engagement point, right? I'm very aware of what they're trying to do and what I'm trying to do. I like to have a lead leg and have a staggered stance. So what I need to do is knock her to the mat. I need to bring her shoulders to the mat. There's various ways to do it. So think conceptually, right? You can grab both ankles and force the shoulders to the mat, right? Come back up. You can push the head depending on your academy. Some people think it's rude. I think it's part of the sport. I'm not punching her in the head. I'm not palming her in the head. I put my hand on her head and then I shove her head back. It's very effective. You can use the head and the leg. Again, right? You can use the shoulder and the leg. Again, we just need to find a way to get her there. So let's assume that we were able to bring her here, and now we're going to enter and we're going to bring our knee just across her quad. I don't want my knee to make contact with the mat, because if my knee makes contact with the mat, that means that her leg isn't bearing my weight. And in no-gi, it's very important that I don't allow my knee to touch the mat initially, because I don't want her to not feel my weight. I want her to feel my weight. So what I want to do is, again, we're here. I want to come here, and I want to underhook her leg. Let's move back. Let's turn this way. I want to underhook her leg, okay? And I want my knee just over her hamstring, okay? I want this leg to not be on my bicep. This is weak, guys. I want her leg all the way up to my head. And I have to be able to create a good wedge. You can grab your own leg if you'd like to make sure you keep it tight. I typically don't, but I like to turn my head so that I can feel the tension between my head and my arm, keeping this tight. If you notice, her quadricep is at the crook of my elbow. My left leg is extremely far, so I'm not here. Because the farther it is, the more I can put the weight on the right leg. When I'm closer, I tend to have some weight on this left leg. And I'm also going to bring my left hand to the knee so that I can keep her pinned. Okay, so I want to have some control. This hand can come to the hip, can come to your leg, can stay tight. Okay, this is a great passing position. And like I said, I'm going to make another video discussing a lot of the reactions you'll get initially, right? So one of the reactions is if she starts to kick, I can start to switch sides, and we're going to talk about in the next video. But for this one, I just want to be here. I don't want this knee here, because when it's here, I'm not able to put as much pressure initially, right? I want to stay mobile. That's not the wrong thing to do. There's no right or wrong. But for my purposes, my weight class, the way I like to move, I like fluidity, and I like to be able to switch sides if necessary and apply redirectional concepts. So let's move back just a little bit. So again, we get to here. We get to this over-under knee slice position. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to reach for the head and really, really force a groin stretch. Guys, some people will even tap from this. I've tapped several people to this accidentally. I almost felt rude about it. But most people won't tap, they'll just concede to the pass. But what I want to do is I want to start to lean forward, okay? Hug the head, and now my knee comes off and it comes to the mat. But guys, I keep stapled here, okay? So that I can control her leg. I have a hook, I'm stapling her leg, and I pull her to me, okay? So look, I pull her to me, I have her leg, and I'm not knee sliding, guys. I'm just coming here, putting my weight on the face, and then I'm pummeling my leg off. Okay? And then I pull in and I solidify the pass. Be very wary of the reverse triangle. So when you start to pass, since you are underhooking the leg as opposed to a regular underhook, there is a threat of a triangle choke there. It's not very, very, very big if you're aware of it. If you're not aware, yeah, they can catch you off guard. So again, come this way. So I bring her down, and I want to right away get into this position. I want to keep my weight on her leg, right? I want to keep myself angled. I can come here to the hip. I'm going to start to lean forward and hug the head. I'm going to pull her to me, and I'm going to keep this staple. Guys, she should feel a serious groin stretch. You can tap people by just doing this, right? But I'm not trying to tap. I'm just trying to pass. So I start to alleviate. I can slide this back, pummel, and start to turn. Okay? And it's a super easy way to, yes, pass the guard, but for no-gi purposes, more importantly, create a scramble where you are the one dictating the pace. A lot of passing in no-gi is going to be conceptual approaches that allow you to remain the offensive guy. Because you do not want to be on the defensive end in a no-gi scramble when they're starting to attack your legs. You want to be forcing the reaction. So I go for this over underneath slide. They're framing, they push. I switch sides. They start to jump here. I do the leg drag, etc., and you have the passing chains. So it's a very good engagement point, and it's a very good control position. So anyways, guys, if you like this content, please like, subscribe. Thanks to my wife, Bruna, for putting up with the painful pass. Guys, don't forget to hit the little notification bell so you're notified of new videos. If you have any questions on this one, I'd love to interact in the comments. Let me know what you think. And if you want to see more no-gi stuff, let me know, guys. I have no problem filming a bunch of no-gi content. Even if you want me to redo a lot of the videos I've already done in no-gi terminology with no-gi grips, I'd be happy to do it. I'd be totally happy to do it. So let me know in the comments, guys. And as usual, os.